بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور انفسنا ومن سيئات اعمالنا انه من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له واشهد ان لا اله الا الله وحده لا شريك له واشهد ان محمدا عبده ورسوله اوصيكم ونفسي بتقوى الله عز وجل. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I want to start with saying first of all, to praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to thank you for coming here this early. So it's 8:30 in the morning on Friday, when you will be want to sleep, and I'm sure that most of you go to school during the week, and you come on Friday, and then I understand also on Saturday. And you're giving up your sleep, and you're giving up your own, personal time. And I'm sure that you're pushed enough during the week. And here you are pushing yourself during the week. As I was coming here, I was seeing the Filipino community going to church. Okay? You can see it's a trend because you're driving and you see a lot of Filipinos dressed. It's almost like you're going to the club, and they all do that. But they're going to church. And you can't be but amazed by their dedication. Their dedication to batin, okay? To something that if you actually sit down and analyze it, sit down without any emotion, that is something that actually, subhanAllah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that the heavens will split asunder. That they say that Allah is a son. So people say, it's okay, everything's fine, everything's good, we're all, one thing. But Allah says something else. Yes, people have their haqq. But when it comes to this issue, their aqidah, their belief, Allah is angry every time they say that, every time they worship what they do, every time they do it. Allah is angry. But what amazes us is that they're so dedicated. Like they're going hard and they're moving, they're doing work in India and Africa, all over the East Asia and so on, working hard, day and night. And you look at them and you're like, subhanAllah, why are they doing it? For who? Who are they doing it for? And then, if you ask them, why do you do it? They'll say, for God. Okay? You're doing it for God. But they actually don't know what they're doing. They're doing it for all kind of alternative reasons. And that's the issue of going back to ikhlas. Something that doesn't exist anywhere except in Islam. And I can tell you that, coming from a non-Muslim background, practicing Christian, the issue of ikhlas is something that is almost non-existent in terms of, they have sincerity, but it's not the same thing as ikhlas. Okay? And of course, then moving on to ihsan. They don't have that. If you do something, you see someone, you want help, for example, the missionaries in Africa, they go to Africa, you say, why are you doing it? Well, because we want to take the message of Jesus and help the poor African. If you actually look as to why they're doing it, it's that they want to extinguish the anger and sadness that they have in their hearts when they see these poor people. And they want to say, I did something. But the Muslim, he can't do that. when the Muslim does something, he has to do it sincerely for the sake of Allah. إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّاتِ. Okay, this is what the hadith that we memorize, all of us, by Umar Khattab radiallahu anhu. And indeed, the actions are according to intentions. If you intend something for Allah, there's nothing added to it. Nothing. لا نريد منكم جزاء ولا شكر. We don't want no thanks, no nothing, no reward, nothing. So when a Muslim does it, there's no like, oh, I felt good by, I helped this person. No, it's only for the sake of Allah. Because when you want to put that fire off in your heart, actually you're still somehow selfish. Because you want to take care of yourself, your pain. It's not about helping the other people. But it's very subtle, it's hard to find it. And that's why we need to always, the Sahaba were very, very staunch upon this, to make sure that their niyyah is sincere. They check their intention. Why am I here? Why am I doing this? Everything. Why am I wearing hijab? Why am I growing my beard? Why am I doing da'wah? Why am I reading Quran? Why am I coming here in the morning? Every single thing. Is it because I'm following a trend? My friends are doing it, I'm doing it. Is it because we have a group? Or is it sincerely for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So that's why when I look at these people, I feel sad sometimes that the Muslims, Friday morning is a time when the Muslims sleep. They make up, they call it makeup. Right? Saturday also. It's like you wake up, sometimes people miss Jum'ah because they're sleeping. They're sleeping, they miss Fajr, everything. Sleeping up to sometimes Asr because they think they have the right to make up for the sleep that they lost during the week because of work. If you go drive the Corniche, I used to, when I lived in Dubai, in Abu Dhabi, I used to travel to Dubai every Friday morning. After Fajr, you go, you drive, you see all the non-Muslims exercising and going on the boats and you name it. And you're like, the Muslims sleeping. So that's why you find that the non-Muslims are becoming strong and they're doing good work, while the Muslims are becoming weak, gaining weight, lazy, tired, and all these things. So I want to give you almost like a glad tidings, alhamdulillah, that you are here and that you are attending this amazing event. I want to make it, if possible, a bit interactive, right? Right? So I don't want to talk all the time. I want you to talk sometimes. So if you have something, just put your hand up and I'll address these questions. I'll start kind of topic. And we want to hear from you. Now don't feel shy that some of your peers are here or something like that. I think you're fine. I think that, they shouldn't be, when it comes to seeking knowledge, there was no shyness. Other things, as the Prophet said, that's from the first kalam nubuwwah, if you don't have shyness, then do what you please. Okay? In other matters. But when it came to knowledge specifically, the people asked. Sahabas were shy. That's why some people asked, some people didn't. Some said, I would ask, while others were shy. And others were waiting for a Bedu, an Arabi, to come who had no shyness whatsoever and just be like, yeah, Muhammad, tell me this, and then they would come fast to hear the answer, right? Because he wouldn't be shy to ask. So don't be shy, because it's important to understand. I work as a teacher. I've been working as a teacher for a few years, so I know what are some of the issues that our youth are facing. Whether you're from here, whether you're from wherever you are, I understand the difficulties that youth are facing. What is the age category that you're here? I think now over 12, right? Teenage, right? 12 plus. Okay, so I want to start with, I was given two topics. I want to kind of like merge them and then start the discussion. And Anas ibn Malik, radiallahu anhu, I think this center is named Anas ibn Malik, right? Malik. Oh, Malik ibn Anas. Okay, so it's Imam Malik. Yes. Okay, sorry. Actually, these are the two, sometimes they get confused. But he reports a beautiful hadith of Prophet when he was worried that he would not be with the Prophet in Jannah. Right? And the Prophet left him with this beautiful statement, summarized hadith, al-mar'a ma'a man ahab, that the person will be with whom he loves. Okay? So we'll start with this, that who do we actually love? Who is the person or the people, the group that we actually love? And I mean L-O-V-E, like real love. And that's why Anas, he said, when I heard this is like the best thing almost that ever happened. And he said, I swear that I love so and so and so and so. Because said that the person will be in Jannah, okay, with whom he loves. So you find that today, and I will put myself in the same position as you. Okay, I'm not old, I'm quite young. I'm sure most of you are young. And we've been through, I would say, probably all of us sitting here through some form of jahiliyyah. So none of us are coming here straight from from Masjid al-Haram or something that being brought up there and always protected. We all face some issues and understand the problems that are facing our communities are facing. We all understand that we are surrounded by a lot of da'wah, and I'll be the first one to say that it's very tempting. Everyone is screaming at you something. You go here, you see this magazine, it's saying dress this way. You go here, this says, you should shave this way, clean. This is the best look. And then this other place says the woman should look like this. And then you go another place, the successful woman, even though, subhanAllah, that's the deception that they're Muslims sometimes. But the Muslim way, or the successful Muslim, is this one. And her hijab is like convertible hijab, So, and people sit and say, they look and they're like, oh yeah, I mean, she's like presenting on TV and like very successful, so I want to be like that. And look, she's wearing hijab. Come on, and that's why Shaitan, he's very smart. He's not going to tell you right away, take it all off. He's going to say, come on, just show a little bit of hair. Just a little bit. Come on. You're not going to a funeral. What is this? You're so strict. Come on. Just a little bit. Right? So then, a little bit goes up. And then Shaitan says, come on. You're, beautiful. You should, Allah gave, like he's smart, Shaitan, thank you. He rationalized, very logical. You say, Allah gave you beauty. Allah loves beauty. Shouldn't you show your beauty, the ni'mah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on you? So you say, come on, you're wearing jilbab, just tighten, now there's this belt jilbabs, just tighten it a bit, so you can be a little bit in line with everyone else, So Shaitan is playing slowly, just a little bit of makeup, come on, look, your face, you should have Islam teaches you to be clean. So just be a bit clean, just put a little bit of makeup. So you're like, yeah, it makes sense. It won't hurt anyone. So slowly, that pious sister changed into like something in the middle now, It's not really out yet, but it's moving. That's how the Shaitan plays. Right? He plays with her mind. So you look at this so-called woman or man, that this is the successful person, this is the image, and then when you see the opposite of it, see, mashallah, some brothers with nice big beards, may Allah help us because some of us cannot grow it that big, like Saladin and I. Okay, we're working on it for years, But you see, mashallah, and then you see like, it's not clean, it's not good. Why? It's not an issue of being clean or nothing. It's because our minds have been trained to think that this is the image of a successful man, and this is the image of a successful woman. And when you see something opposite, you say, this is extreme, this guy's an extremist. All these people are exaggerating. I always say, I give one litmus test. Simple litmus test. If Rasulullah would be here, if Umar Khattab would be here, who would they go for? Who would they stand next to? The convertible, samurai-looking, I don't know what, hijabi? Or the his wife back in the days. Who? And we have the descriptions are very, that's the thing. The texts are there. No one can bury it. That's the beautiful thing about Deen. People can say that things are changing, but the text is there. Okay? And that's what Prophet said. Very important. People might not understand it, but that's the whole challenge. تركت فيكم ما إن تمسكتم به لن تضلوا بعدي أبدا كتاب الله والسنة. يعني سمعت الحديث والسنة الخلفاء الراشدين المهديين in different contexts in the hadith. So when we look at that, does that mean just like, what does it mean? What does it mean? Okay, Quran is, that's the amazing thing that a lot of people understand. Quran, alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has protected it. Allah has vowed to protect it. But still you find people trying to interpret it. But people don't understand that the fortress that protects the Quran is the Sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And that doesn't exist in any other scripture. This is something very different than all the other scriptures. That the Quran came with the text and how the text should be implemented. Right? So if you have a teacher right now, if I start teaching you quadratic formulas for mathematics, and I give you the book, and you start, you like scratch your head, you might have basics of mathematics, but you will not fully understand. But if I start doing exercises with you on the table, on the board, and I start telling you this goes here, and that's that, and you should do this, and you should do that, I show you the way, then there's no doubt. You have clear understanding. This is the Sunnah. The Sunnah will always protect the Quran. And that's why the Prophet put so much emphasis on the Sunnah. And today people say it's just Sunnah, while Sahaba died for just Sunnah. This is the difference. People have made Sunnah like it's just Sunnah, man. Don't be so. Sahaba died for Sunnah. They put their lives and they died for the Sunnah of the Prophet. So that's why when we look at these issues, we need to really say who is more. People talk about their logic, rationale. But you find that a lot of times they're the most irrational and illogical people. And if the Prophet, very simple logic, okay, if you want to go into logic, if the Prophet said A, B, C, and he did A, B, C, and he explained A, B, C, and the Sahabas did A, B, C, understanding, and it matches what the Prophet did A, B, C, and someone comes and does, D, E, F, is it logic? And he says, no, this is the real one. Wait a second, there's A, B, C here. There's like 4 or 5 rows of the same A, B, C, and you come with D, E, F, and you say that it's the same thing. Or it's a new approach of ABC. We just take ABC and repackage it. Then that is totally illogical. So again, the question is, who do we love? And today we are faced with too many choices. Are screaming at us. Everyone's saying, love me, love me, love me, love me. On TV, you open TV, so you can't even open it even with various like. And everywhere, click, click, click. It's like you go outside of your house, and it's like everyone's screaming, "Love me, love me! Look at me, look at me!" Everyone is in desperate need for attention, and that's why a lot of people, when they approach da'wah and they approach the Islam, they forget about the fact that people are people. At the end of the day, people are people. And every person has certain things that they need. And if these things are not aligned and protected by what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has decreed, that's why when Allah created Adam, and Adam did his mistake, okay, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent him out of Jannah, He told him that when I will send you my messengers, and you will follow them. They will give you guidance. So follow them. Okay? Adam he's a human being. Here's a human being that has needs, desires. Okay? That's why Shaitan came and did waswis to him. He whispered to him. Okay? He whispered. Allah gave him an order, don't go there. Okay? But Shaitan came, he whispered to him, he made a mistake, he made tawbah, Allah told him to leave. Then he said, I will send to you guidance. If you follow this guidance, you'll be fine. If you don't follow it, then it's a different path. Human beings have all kinds of desires. We live in a hedonistic society. We want this, we want that. So, the problem is though, how do we understand what is correct and what is not? What is beneficial and what is not? A lot of you might be faced now. How many people attend school here? I mean, let's see, hands up. How many people attend actual school? Public school or private school? Hands up. Majority. Okay. Private school or public school or not? Indian school? The English school? Are most of you in the same school? Is it an Islamic school? Hands up if it's an Islamic school. Okay, some Islamic. All right.
What makes Islamic studies like same or like?
There is, yeah. All right. So, one of the issues that, and I'm sure that from what I know from my students and teaching them and talking to them, one of the issues that we are faced with today, and that's why I want to, this was just an introduction, I want to start the discussion, is the issue of identity, like who we are. Okay? Who are you? So if someone were to ask you, sisters, who are you? What would you say? What would you say? Just someone say. Yes? If I ask, who are you? What are you going to tell me?
I'm Muslim.
Okay, you're a Muslim. And if I ask you why, what would you say? Why are you Muslim? It's a valid question. Why are you a Muslim? People ask you. You have the nice, are you girls in a mixed school? All girls school? Okay. All of you? All girls school? Some mixed. Who's in mixed school? Hands up. Okay, put your hand up. Don't be shy. All of you in girls school? Okay, good. All Muslims in the school? No. Alright, good. So, don't think, I'll be very honest, don't think that if you are in a girls' school, all girls' school, that you're safe. A lot of people think that. It's totally that. Okay, I can tell you very well. I taught in all boys' schools. And man, the problems that they have. And I know from people who taught in all girls' school, the problems that they have. And I'll talk about these problems later. No, we need to understand. Because a lot of times, people are shy to talk about these things, so they never get addressed. So what do people do? They bury it inside, they keep it inside, and they can never solve it. And then if you don't solve an issue, it will cause a change in you. It will cause doubts to build up. It will cause you to have weakness in iman. It will cause a lot of problems. So these issues need to be addressed sometimes to understand how to deal with it. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us a class in this. So, does everyone ever challenge your belief in your school as to why you are a Muslim or why you cover? Hands up if you ever wonder. If you don't want to talk, just put your hand up. Say yes. Someone challenged my belief or asked me why do I cover or why am I Muslim? Anyone? Never? Okay. Somehow I find it hard to believe, but I'll believe you. But that happens a lot. Maybe it didn't happen to you, it happens to a friend of yours. Where they say, why are you a Muslim? Why do you cover? Right? And especially now, you have within the Indian culture, right, this whole Bollywood phenomenon, right? Okay? Let's say no one asks you, but I'm sure a lot of people have brought issues up that are different. And in other countries or in other instances, people will ask, why are you Muslim? Why are you wasting your life being so committed? Why do you cover? Anyone ask you why do you cover? Why do you wear hijab? Ever? Yes? Put your hand up, just say yes, so I can see. Okay, so people ask you, why do you wear hijab? You're so young, right? You're wasting your life. People say that sometimes. And here you are faced with other girls in your school who don't wear hijab. Okay? Other girls who say, come on, you know, I have a boyfriend, for example.
There is no impact more if you are sitting and paying. That's what I think. Okay. Appreciate that. Sure. And if you want to, you know.
Is it recording? Is it? Someone can tell. Okay, I kicked him out. Alright, I'll be very honest. I want to talk to you about these things because maybe I won't see you again, or I'm not going to come here. I'm telling you, it's a very good opportunity. It happened before. People open these discussions up, and then they're very shy because there's people around. I don't want to say. And then the person left, and then the people after try to call him back and like, please come back. I want to talk to you about these things. And tough luck. So, if you feel like writing the question down, then that's fine. You can pass it on to me, or you can do that. But let me move on again. And listen, I'm not lecturing you. I know the issues that people are facing. I also face these issues. I'm still facing them sometimes, so I'm not here like some sheikh telling you this. I'm not sheikh, first of all. I'm just your brother. And I'm not here to look down on anyone or their problems. I have probably the same problems. So we're here kind of like as a group in together trying to solve some issues. So I'll just tell you some of the things that I know and I've heard, and you can agree or disagree with me and share if you want. Write it down, send me a question, comment, or anything like that. But, okay, we said some people don't challenge your deen, but I can tell you that a lot of people challenge it. A lot of people maybe sometimes are scared in these countries because it's like such a taboo thing, right? People are like, they don't want to talk about, religion. But they do though. And I remember one in the girls' school, public school, that there would be at least one fight a day between girls because of issues of religion. Okay? Because of issues of religion. So there would be Christian girls and Muslim girls, and they would say something to each other and start fighting. So our religion is without a doubt under attack. Our way of life, it's under attack every day. And a lot of times some of you might feel pressured by your parents to do what you're doing, and you're not doing it full-heartedly. And I would say that that's okay if you feel like that. And because you'll see, and I can give you almost a guarantee, that 5 years from now, 6 years from now, 10 years from now, you will thank your parents for sometimes pushing you. Even though sometimes you feel like, wow, my mom, she knows how to upset me, and my dad just, doesn't understand me. But I'm telling you, this is part of your jihad. This is part of your struggle. 10 years from now, 5 years from now, you will thank your parents that they pushed you. And subhanAllah, I've met people who say, I wish my dad would have taken a stick and whacked me when I really needed it. And I'm coming from a psychology background, and I can tell you there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people, they're like, oh, hands-off policy, they really don't know what they're talking about. It's this whole Western mentality and philosophy that's being pushed into them, and you find that those same people grow up to be the most insecure people you'll ever find. The same people will take guns to their own heads and commit suicide and all kinds of things. So a little push is necessary sometimes. If you find that your parents sometimes push you, if your parents sometimes don't understand you, I'll tell you what, just the fact that your parents have 20, 30 years over you in difference of age makes a big difference, that they have some experience. And there might be a difference, they don't understand how you feel. Trust me, they used to be young. Yes, not the same, we're facing different issues today, but they also used to be young. And they understand what you are going through. So, have patience, be strong. If sometimes, change your heart and try to be sincere for what you're doing. Why are you wearing hijab? Maybe someone's pushing you, maybe someone's telling you to. Okay, if you don't wear hijab, what's going to happen? well, a lot of things can happen. And you might not understand the wisdom of wearing hijab right now, but trust me, if you can change your heart to love your hijab, not to just do it because it's just like an obligation. Yes, this is the first level of Islam, that you submit to the obligation, but then you reach ihsan, when you really do it with a love, and you can't live without it. And subhanAllah, I see these videos sometimes of people in war-stricken countries, okay? And you find some sisters, there's like people coming in, all of a sudden a bomb falls, and subhanAllah, the girl, she's saying, don't let the men come here, I'm not wearing hijab. So the last thing would be on her head. People are shooting at them and bombs are coming, and she's worrying about hijab. Why? Because it's become a part of her. She loves it, it's her identity. And when you make this your identity, your Islamic identity, and that's what I started with, to love it, that you are proud of it, a good way, a good pride, that you are proud that you are Muslim. You are proud that you are covering. You are proud that you are a stranger. Because that's what you be. The girls will look, hey, ha 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 ha, you know this girl, you start backbiting, chit-chatting, right? You know how it is, right? In school. And they point at you, you know, and you're like, what are you talking about? And you almost know that they're talking about you. And then your friend comes, oh, guess what I heard? What'd you hear? And that thing, you know, kind of like, and then they move away. And it's all these weird stuff that they do, right? And then you feel like a stranger, you know? And the only way you feel good is when you have another sister like you to be with you, right? And this is the beautiful thing this one. The Prophet said, "Bada Islam gharib wa sa'ud gharib fatuba al-ghuraba." That Islam started as something strange, it will return as something strange, so give glad tidings to a stranger. If you feel like you're a stranger, like you're out of place, be happy. Be happy, because when you will be in place, that means you're going with the herd, with the sheep. You know the sheep? Ever see the sheep? Okay, what happens when the dog comes, the sheep? What do the sheep do? He barks. What do they do? Come on, I want to hear a little bit. The what? They all move one way, right? And then he doesn't like where they're going. He comes from this side, he barks from this, and then they all go to the other side, right? That's exactly what's happening today. Here comes Bollywood movie. Everyone, let's go see it. And then here comes some Hollywood. Let's go. And then this movie star or rock star, let's go this way. He says something, there's a new fashion, everyone tries to do it. And smoking is this, it's cool, everyone starts doing it. Shisha is good, let's go for shisha. Everything. People just say something, everyone just does it, right? And the person who says, oh man, I think it's haram. It's haram, look at this guy, he's such a loser, you know, you're such a loser girl. Yeah, right? You're never gonna have a boyfriend, you're never gonna have a life. What kind of life do you have? You're just a loser, right? So that what happens is this person is ostracized, this person is put on the side, and they're considered like something like, you know, you're not cool enough, right? You know, this whole issue of cool. You're not cool. You know, who are you? Now look at you. Look what we're doing. You're not cool. So you have to do what the sheep are doing to be cool. Right? And that's not cool. If you actually sit down and use your brain, rationally speaking, to say, who is the strong person? Here's a cigarette. Okay. Here's a drug. Okay. Here's this. Okay. Let's go here. Okay. And the person says, no. But why no? Because I'm strong. I don't need to listen. Why are you doing it? Can you even give me one benefit of doing what you're doing? Why do you smoke? You're basically putting your mouth on the exhaust of the car. You know, this pipe that comes and you're saying, press the gas, man. That's exactly what you're doing. So what's the reason? Why are you doing it? And the person will be like, it looks cool, it's this. You'll try, there's nothing. Right? There's no brains involved into it. Okay, what's going to benefit you if you're going to watch this garbage Bollywood movie where all these people are dancing and people jumping from trees and there's no one there, and all of a sudden there's a billion people dancing from nowhere, coming from all over places, and you know, it's always the same voice singing, some high-pitched lady, and always some love story. The woman runs away from home, and the guy is from a different background and married, but then the girl dies. All the same stuff, right? So what's the benefit? Right? What's the benefit? You come out of that movie and you say, I wish I would be in this. kind of, this will happen, that some prince will come on some horse and take me away. Does this ever, no, I mean, let's think, right? You're laughing because I know you understand what I'm saying. But the problem is that, does this happen? Inshallah, we hope that sometimes, inshallah, Muslim, you have that so-called, romance. But that's not like always a good halal way. The thing is that most of the time, these things don't really happen. Okay? And then people start making a standard for their life by looking at this. And then when they marry, or they have their husband or their wife, and then they're not this guy jumping from a tree or something like that, saying, I love you or something like that. Then they say, oh, he's not a good husband to me. She's not a good wife because she's not dancing like this Bollywood girl or something. Come on. Is this really what love and marriage is all about? And that's the thing though. These things are not real. And these so-called, love and romance, it's not real. Because at the first problem that they would encounter, you find that these people fall apart. That's why if you look, most of the actors are always divorcing or they never marry. Because they can never find happiness. So the same people who are, acting, that's what it's called acting. It's not real. So people get, this brain that they think that, oh, I should have a relationship like this. I remember, and then they take that into their mind and they make that a standard for what their relationship should be with their future husband and wife. And then they don't find that so-called excitement, Bollywood excitement, and then they find that they themselves live a miserable life. While have they returned back to the Sunnah and how the Sahabas used to live with their wives, they find the struggle and what really love meant, how they were together, what it meant to go through sacrifice, what it meant to raise a family in Islam. Why, and what brought them together? It was not movies or songs or dances or jumping from trees, but it was like living and dying for Islam. And they had much stronger relationships than anyone. And they understood that marriage is something to help you move to Jannah, not to, to dance in this world or to do some weird stuff. So that's why we need to understand and these peer pressures when they come around. And you need to be proud that you are not a sheep. I'm not even kidding. Like that you're not a sheep. Exactly what it is. That you are actually strong. So take that pride in yourself. Try to feed off it. That you know what? I am a strong Muslim woman. And these people here, there's nothing wrong actually in this case to somehow look down upon them. Not in an evil way, but in a pity way. That you're feeling sad for them. That these people are just like, someone says something, they go that way, go this way, go that way. And you are the one who's saying, you know what, you're wasting your time. I know what you're trying to do, I'm not going to have it. And you will find that that charisma, that strength that will come from you, it will emanate to other people. And they will respect you. People might not agree with you in the end, but they will respect your strength. And that's what I've realized in my life. That I've disagreed with a lot of people. But they will respect you as a person that you have something that you're standing for. While a lot of people have nothing. They don't stand for anything. They just fall any moment. Anyone says something, they go this way. So, what I'm trying to say is that be strong and know what you're doing, know who you are, have an identity, a Muslim identity. Try to be united. If you have sisters with you and your school, be united in doing good. You have to help each other in build and taqwa. A lot of times it sounds very dry. People might take it as like, it's not fun, we're not having fun. You see these people laughing and enjoying themselves, boys and girls mixing, they're talking, they have their guitar playing sometimes, you see little Indian boys walking with their big guitars in their back, and they're going with their groups and stuff like that and friends. But in the end, if you were to actually live that life and to understand what they're going through, there's always some nasty, event taking place in their lives. There's always some unhappiness, someone's doing something to someone, talking about them, hurting them, someone's going to be abandoned by them, this girl will go with his, friend, and they will, all kinds of problems. They look on the surface, and these looks are deceiving, that they're happy, but in the end, they're not really happy. And to us, our hearts sometimes are tempted, and Shaitan says, man, what if I would just try it one time? What if I would just be like that, normal, right? Look what Shaitan's trying to tell you. He's trying to tell you that is normal, and that you are abnormal. That's what Shaitan is trying to tell you. That you are not normal, and they're the normal people. While it's the other way around. We are the normal, because the norm is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us. And these guys are abnormal, because they're just doing what they want. They don't know what they're doing. They have no moral set code other than one that's ever changing. So I would say, try to be proud of yourself. Try to be very proud of yourself. And stick together when it comes to these issues. Now I talked a lot. I just kind of open up the discussion. I want to know other issues that you might want to discuss, so I don't just talk all the time. I usually try to make these sessions as interactive as possible. If you want to write something and send me, I would rather do that. Rather than me just talking. So please don't be shy. Just say what you have. Tell me, write it down on a piece of paper, send it to me. I think this is easier, inshallah, and we can address. So you write it. I'll open up another issue. The issue of dating these days. Okay, the issue of dating. Something that comes up too much, and there's too much pressure. I'm sure that you know some of your friends, they have boyfriends in your school. They meet without their parents' knowledge and all that. In some cases, subhanAllah, even the parents don't mind. And how to resist these temptations is, things, maybe there's a non-Muslim boy, he thinks he likes you or something like that. How do you deal with this? These are issues that our Muslim sisters are faced with. And believe it or not, a lot of them are falling prey to a lot of the non-Muslim guys, because now the non-Muslim guys are realizing how the non-Muslim girls have no chastity, right? Now they're going for the Muslim girls because they think they're more pious, more chaste, So you find a lot of Muslim girls falling for non-Muslim boys, and this is an issue in the schools. Specifically. And a lot of people say, well, how do we deal with this? This goes back to your faith. There's no actual way to just deal with it. If this inside is not clean, and you don't understand what the consequences are, and you don't fear Allah, anything can happen. And that's why you need to work so much on your heart, on your belief, on what you know is right and what you know is wrong based on the Quran and Sunnah, that at the point when someone comes to you like that, you're just like, it will be automatic. That there's not even 1% doubt in your mind that you say, stop, out, and you cut any kind of link. This is something that a lot of people don't understand. They think there's some kind of formula that you don't. It's how your heart feels and how you can resist the temptation of these things. Question? Anyone? You write it, please. The other thing is that, believe it or not, that's facing us right now, and I'm not shy to say that it's been happening in girls' school, is the issue of lesbianism. Okay, this is something that's taking place, and some people are falling down to it. Believe it or not, especially here in this country, in girls' school, it's taking place a lot, and it's rising. It's like an epidemic. And because they think that we're all girls' school and everything's fine, there's no boys, that's not true. Because now you have this issue of lesbianism, and people are just trying it, thinking it's something cool to experience. No one will question, no one will suspect. And this is another of the tricks of Shaitan, I will be that. And too many people are following it. As a teacher, I can tell you, in too many schools, girls' schools, this happening. And some people might have not heard of these things, and you say, why are you talking about? you have to have awareness. You have to know what's your enemy and who is your problem in order to keep away from it. Okay? So you should know. I usually give it like what's called the 5-minute rule. When you discuss with someone and talk to someone, you should know whether you should keep away from this person or not. And we're talking here about girls. If this person is inviting you, you can tell by their language, by the way they act, what they say, towards evil. It doesn't matter if you're rude. You know, people say, why are you so rude? It doesn't matter. This doesn't play here. You can be rude and tell them to please back off. Right? If you find some khair and give them dawah, you can try to give them dawah again with a very short, span of time. But if you find yourself being incited by these, what they're saying or what they're calling you to, cut, and move away. Something very important. Yes. Does anyone want to say something? Let me just talk in your voice. Don't be shy. I don't know your names. I'm not going to go and tell the brothers, oh, the sister said that. I don't know who you are. I'm not even trying to look at you. I don't know who you are. But just say, I'll try to respond. Okay, I'll talk to them. I think some people are writing, right? Something. The issue of role models, that's something that is hard to find these days. Okay? And it's also partly our fault because we're not providing them. And there's so many so-called bad role models outside there that people try to follow. If you go to the mall, for example, I'm sure a lot of you have been to the mall. You'll find certain people looking like this actor, certain people looking like this singer, certain people looking like so-and-so. And these are trends. But as Muslim sisters, you need to pick your role models from sisters who are involved in dawah, from sisters from the past. And that's why I believe if you, I don't know if you do, but if you can undergo a study of the life of the Sahabiyat, like you say the other women of the past, Aisha radiallahu anha, Asma, like to really know their lives and to see like what kind of woman was this and how strong she was, and compare to these women today who are in the media and movements on, and how weak they are, and see again rationally who would you want to follow. Who is going to Jannah and who's going to Jannah? Who is strong and who is weak? But that again requires us to go back and try to learn, to understand. So if any one of you can make this, I don't know, do you already study lives of the Sahabiyat? Kind of, yes. But it should be like in-depth. It should be like a full tarbiyah course. And I'm not just saying let's just read about their lives, but actually like analyze their lives. Actually like live them. To take certain aspects and implement them. This is tarbiyah. It's the difference in tarbiyah and ta'aleem. Ta'aleem, you're just learning, you're reading, examining. Tarbiyah, you are implementing. You are doing it. You're reading it, you're understanding knowledge, you're putting it in practice. You have someone who follows with you, someone close, an advisor. This is a prophetic, a sunnah. That's how the Prophet took care of the Sahaba. That's how the Prophet made the ukhuwah between the Muhajirin and the Ansar. That's how the Prophet trained the Ahl Sufa, the people of Sufa in Medina who used to study. This is how the Prophet trained his closest companions who became the leaders. That's why, because they were learning and applying. The problem with us today is that we're just reading. We're not applying it. We're reading, and that's it. For example, for today, if you take something beneficial from this interaction, you should take it to your friends. You should take it to those sisters who are not here. That sister who might not be wearing hijab, and tell them, sister, don't be like, oh, you're bad. Be like, sister, you are strong. Don't fall for these people who are telling you to show everything. Be strong, be proud. Give her that hope, give her that strength, that she will feel that, yeah, you're right. I don't have to tell her, don't be a sheep. You can tell her that. Look at her and be like, don't be a sheep. You know, be the strong one and, you know, take on your commitment towards Islam. Alright, Bismillah. Is covering face a sunnah? I'm not putting down this question, it's an important question. I was hoping right now we'll talk about more about issues that you are facing with. But if you are thinking about it because it's an issue that you think will help you, I would say go for it. You know, don't think twice about it and do it. Because this is what the wives of the Prophet used to do. And it's definitely something, whether the issue of sunnah or wajib or anything like that, this is a fiqh issue that I'm not, I wouldn't want to get into it right now. I'm sure you can have your scholars and your people that will report to these things. But it is without a doubt part of Islam. No one will ever say that it's not. And anyone who says that is wrong. As for my personal opinion, it's not the base in time. But I would say that if you are considering it, and you are a sister, and especially, you are older now, you're growing up, you're in high school, if you're, I would say for sure go for it. Say Bismillah, inshallah Allah will reward you immensely for this. And I have a long